Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Has come to Stoic thinking today the secret to using reverse thinking to open a new door of life, the twist of fate. This video will wake you up as the pinnacle of art. To live is to live without trying to do anything. Only extremely active and intelligent people. To live. In this world of life there's no need to try, then every step of this person will be natural harmony as supported by life itself. Why do you say that? The answer will be revealed in this video. Ladies and gentlemen, the secret to using reverse thinking to solve the most difficult problems in life step by step. Open the door to success. I want to survive in this competitive era. You have to let yourself think backwards. How harmful it is for people with negative thinking, because people are always busy. Dark eyes, dark nose, but poor. Reverse thinking is a unique way of thinking. The opposite of notions, or the conventional approach. Instead of following traditional directions, reverse thinking encourages thinking in new and different ways to solve a problem or achieve a goal instead of accepting existing assumptions. People who practice reverse thinking will ask questions and try to reverse the problem, looking for opposition to create new perspectives. Reverse thinking that breaks the normal rules instead of following the rules, or the norm has been determined. Reverse thinking encourages experimentation and look at different options, even non-traditional alternatives. Or the complete opposite. Reverse thinking promotes creativity and find innovative solutions. They are especially useful in situations where a breakthrough is needed, or when the traditional alternatives does not bring the desired result. People with reverse thinking, it's often flexible. It's easy to adapt to changes. They're always willing to accept new ideas and don't be afraid to change course when necessary. It's a paradoxical way of thinking, but it makes sense. They help you solve all the problems of life. If you don't know, it's a shame. Mistakes that make you run. Money is getting poorer. It turns out that what you're most looking for, it is wealth that prevents getting rich. The free thing is actually the most expensive thing. When your time starts to be valuable, you will feel that everything is free. It's all a waste of time. Before starting the video, diverse thinking encourages you and your friends click subscribe to a different thinking channel to accompany a different mindset on a more beautiful journey of life. Dear friends, the biggest difference between a successful person and a mediocre person, it's in the mind. Successful people will think about the problem from different angles. And when we're in adversity, they know how to use reverse thinking. The life of each person can't always sail smoothly down the wind. There will always be obstacles ahead. So you've got to learn how to get out of that difficult situation as fast as possible compared to traditional thinking. Inverse thinking means that you're going to look at the problem in the opposite direction. This is a way of thinking that most people don't think about. Use reverse thinking to think and solve problems. Is that you're going the opposite way. It's also an unexpected way. Surprisingly help you achieve the goal of winning in each of us. They also have views, my own thoughts. In the art of thinking, sometimes you'll have a way of thinking that goes against the crowd. That doesn't mean you're wrong. And we can't be sure that the crowd is always right. Want to succeed? Let the short stories below wake you up. The following stories, how will it help you grasp? It's the opposite mindset of successful people, so that you know how to use it and solve the problems of everyday life, as well as building a career and getting rich. A rich man goes to buy tomatoes. He asked the tomato salesman how much he paid a pound. The salesman said 16.000 a pound. He chose 2 tomatoes and put them on the scale. Then picked the biggest one to go up to. He sold thousands of pounds and said 10.000. You take the biggest one out of the weight and you don't need it. The salesman glanced at him and say 8.000 bossy. In fact, the largest tomato Kia, it's heavier than 2 tomatoes on the scale. It's obviously a ridiculous salesman. The people around me were very unhappy. But the rich are calm. Take it out of your pocket and give it to the seller. But he didn't take 2 tomatoes on the scale, but grabbed the biggest tomato. I just lost weight. Then have fun. Reverse thinking. Change the calculation. Think of another method. You'll discover new ways to solve problems. Lesson 2. Have a rich man. Every time I leave the house, I'm afraid someone will steal my house. He wants to buy a werewolf into the house, but they're afraid that feeding dogs costs money. After a long period of thinking, he's finally figured out a way. Before leaving the house, he gave up his Wi-Fi pass to become free Wi-Fi. Then rest assured, get out of the house. Since that day there are 10 people standing at the door every day. He caught free Wi-Fi, it is safe and there is no need to worry. Reverse thinking changes the angle of problem thinking. The results will be very different. Lesson BA has a new fish pond opened. The cost of fishing is 200,000. But most people, even if they're sitting around all day, I can't catch any fish. The boss said if you can't fish then I'll give you one. The result is a lot of people scrambling to fish. When you come back every man in his hand carries a chicken. Everyone was very happy to find the boss very interesting. The fish pond manager later told people that the boss is actually a professional chicken farmer. Reverse thinking change your thinking but still achieve your goal. The fourth lesson investors at BA America. Charlie, also known It's the Best Companion, by Warren Buffett. Someone asked Charlie how to find a good partner. He replied that you have to be a good and trustworthy person first. Tree because a good companion they're not fools. Reverse thinking the wise bird always finds a good tree to make a landing. 5 Mandela sentenced to 7 years in prison and during that time you've been pissed a lot by the guards. What's amazing is that when you become president, he invited the 3 guards who had pissed him off. The ceremony that day when Mandela stood up pay respect to the 3 guards. Everyone who witnessed it recalculated. He said, as I walk out the prison door to walk in with freedom, I know that if I don't let the pain and resentment behind, then I'll be in that prison forever. Reverse thinking forgive others. It's actually a form of self-improvement. Lesson 6. There is an old man who likes to be quiet. But the area around his house there are always children coming to play. This makes you feel very uncomfortable. He thought of a way he'd call the kids and say. He was very quiet. Thank you for coming to stir up. Make the atmosphere more fun. Give each child 3 trees. The kids are happy. They come here every day. A few days later, he gave each of them 2 candies. And then a tree, and gradually there's no more for them. The children are both upset and angry. We don't want to be here for you anymore. The old man had a quiet space again. As I wish reverse thinking capture the weaknesses of others. Nothing is unsuccessful. Lesson 7. A salesperson tells a person to come to buy that you hear we have the right to carry the name 500 the reason of men. When I'm late, I have to buy it. It shopper laughed said at Sao. The employee calmly said my husband also bought this book. Reverse thinking hits the psyche. The main control will be in your hands. Lesson 8. Have a buffet restaurant because the diners are wasting food. So the restaurant set a food waste rule. Will be fined 10K. The business situation is getting worse. Then the manager came up with a solution. Increase the price of food to 10 Vietnamese dongs. The time of the change of regulations that those who do not waste food will be given 10K. The results of the business were surprisingly prosperous. There's no more food waste. Reverse thinking never let your guests feel bad. Let them feel that they are benefiting. The 9th lesson. Private Horse Quang smashed the jar. It's a very famous case of reverse thinking. Private Quang is a historian. A famous Chinese scholar. He served as prime minister during the Song dynasty. From a young age, he showed more intelligence than others. And outstanding talent. One day Zima Quang and his friends frolicked playing hide and seek in the garden. They each ran for a place to hide. There was a little boy who jumped into the water to escape. I didn't know it wasn't full of water. The boy choked and screamed 7 times. You guys are so panicked. Worried but not knowing what to do to save. The only thing that matters is calm thinking. He took the stone and smashed the water pot so that the water flowed out. And the boy was saved. If someone falls into the water, our usual thinking is that I'm thinking about saving people out of the water. But Zima Quang in the face of an urgent situation to use reverse thinking. You definitely broke the jar with a stone, let the water out of you. Saved the boy's life. The 10th lesson. There's a young man on the roof. Intent to commit suicide. A lot of people around advise. When the police came to ask why, the young man said, my girlfriend I loved for 8 years. I ran away from you. She's in the car tomorrow. I feel like life has no meaning anymore. An old man standing nearby said aloud, your wife has been with you for 8 years. What else do you want to kill yourself for? He thought for a moment that he was right. Smile and step down. There are so many things in life that are hard to understand. But when you think about it in reverse, you're not as upset as you think you are. If you think about things from a different angle, it could be clearer. Lesson 11. An entrepreneur loaned Hassan $2. Write a proper receipt, but it's almost payback. Hassan suddenly discovered that the note had been lost. This makes you very nervous. Without this debt, the borrower may lose money. Hassan's friend After learning about it, told him that write a letter to the Kia businessman, tell him that he'll have to pay $2.500 by the deadline that he borrowed. Hassan didn't understand that I lost my bank card. I don't even know if I'm hungry. They told him to pay $2.500. Hassan's friends say you do as you please. It will definitely work. After the letter is sent, Hassan quickly received a response. The borrower wrote in his letter that I borrowed $2 from you, not $2.500. I will definitely pay you on time. This is reverse thinking. It's like a tool. When used well, it opens the wings, the door to a new world. Lesson 12. A friend had his cell phone stolen near the train station. I asked a friend to text me on a cell phone. Dear, the ship is about to leave. I can't wait for you to go first. I owed you $200 last time. I put it in a closet 21 in God train. The code is A685. Half an hour later, the phone thief was caught alive in front of a 2 closet 1 in the GA building. Trains use reverse thinking to think many problems can be solved easily. I want to survive in this competitive era. You got to train yourself to think backwards. It doesn't matter how many cookies you have. It's how much you want to eat. Interviews with 3.000 CE candidates concluded people after 30 are not welcome. For BA Deep cause few people know I've been to a conference before. On the career of young people, there's a lot of people there. Village elders in the business world come and share your experience. But I'm probably most impressed by it. Is a business owner shared the story how to judge employees are competent or not. He told me about a man. Old Persian man. A lot of people get rejected for interviews. It really made me listen. Let me tell you more about this CEO. Have successfully raised funds in a series funding round. Very large company. Even though the company hired the 600th person, persisted until the last minute. Directly interview each person. He said that he has been working for so many years. Interviewed over 3.000 people. Make an Excel spreadsheet with the first 500 people. Record the analysis of each person. If this person is employed, will ask the human resources and sales departments. Compare that employee. Is it different from his judgment? Interviewed by about 500 people. This boss looks at someone who's never been wrong. Next to him, share 3 causes that got the Persian programmer turned down. The first is that the human vision is not clear. He is Persian years old. It's just because of the trivialities that change jobs. In 15, he changed it 5 times. There were 2 disagreements with leaders and colleagues. One time it was because of a lack of 7 million wages. The rest is far from home. This boss shared. People running for profit is understandable. But because of some trivialities, I changed jobs. It's obviously a lack of consistency. It makes the expectations of others extremely low. Even the ability to withstand pressure and obey not strong either. Moreover, training a person of such age is difficult. The second is the lack of reverse thinking. When he interviewed him, he asked a difficult question. You are a little confused. I finally said, it can't be done with your ability. Even more, find a reason to defend. That the Kia problem is difficult. I hired you to solve the problem. Let's say you've been thinking all day about the power of raw sao. Suitable for any job. What should I do? And what tools are needed to work? With that mindset, there will always be no small breakthrough. People like this are rarely hiring managers. The third lacks the ability to study in depth. This old Persian programmer, with the field itself, it can only be counted as proficiency. Further research is not enough. The opposite of unrelated fields. Obviously not sure and also not have a learning attitude in 15 working hours of his knowledge, just like someone with experience. A few years. The future is just getting used to hands. It's about deep knowledge. This person has not great potential. Finally, the Kia CEO summed it up and impressed me deeply. With people who have long working experience, I want to know if he's a potential candidate. Don't look at the momentary output. It's about how he learns. And develop that work raw sao. Have a human vision or not. Don't give up long-term value for short-term gain. It's called human vision. It's called market value. Thinking and doing something. The long-term value he's pursuing. It doesn't matter if you put your vision into action. If not, there is a desire deep in the soul. Can't hide once there's a chance how difficult it is. Everyone is trying to find a way to do it. So the human vision is bigger. Obviously, the greater the potential. But most importantly, you don't understand what you want. And get a little bit of interest. There are more than 7.000.000 jobs today. Immediately jump to work. I have a job closer to home tomorrow. I have a job that takes many years off. Then keep dancing. Now we're comparing the two levels of contrast. For example, a job that can deliver long-term value, and you're really passionate. It can also increase competition. On the other hand, the salary is 15 million. Which one would you choose? I'm sure a lot of people would choose job number 2. This is not to blame. Every month there are 15.000.001 years. There are 180.000.015 is a billion 8 in France. The money will be less. You're stuck in the 15 most beautiful moments of your life. Can that 8 billion take you back? Like the Kia CEO's speech. If your employees reach the age of 31, still jump back up because the amount can be more or less than 7.000.000 without calming down to go deeper. Find out about the job, learn more lead management, find you think that person has potential. You will spend valuable time in training. That possibility is extremely small. I think it seems impossible. So how should you pursue long-term values? Never give up a job for a salary bonus. I'm really passionate. Attachment can help develop a career. The cycle of a job is 5 to 6 years. Every half cycle, ask yourself, now this job is a career. I will pursue myself for the rest of my life. When you want to throw it away, don't hesitate. Otherwise, before you die, you won't care. Choose not to be afraid. Wrong is probability. Friend, you just need to hone your skills at the moment you choose the right one. Okay, if you don't know how to choose, let's go back to these 3 things and think. Google used to have an unwritten rule. In every important position, accept double the amount to hire the best people in the industry because the gap between first-rate talent and third-rate talent it's an extremely rare number. Not just a little bit, as people imagine. One important criteria to distinguish first class and BA class as a BA talent to see what resources they have. Then we will go and do the corresponding work. First-rate talent considers the work they want to do and go find the resources for that work. The potential of older employees is not hijack. It's easy to be limited by your own limited skills. With young people with greater potential because of the way they think, broad vision can transcend your own limitations. Let's get to work first. What I need to do, it's not that I only know and have this skill. So I've only got this one job. Always consider the thought. In any industry, the best AI, how can I be like him or better? Don't set limits for yourself. Let's stand at every angle to see. People who don't even dare to think. You can't take on any challenges. The difference between first-class talent and third-class talent, it's a very small number. So don't be proud. The world exists, but the master is much more harmful than you. But don't lose hope. If only through learning, in fact, you can go one step further. Into Kia's rare talent pool, dare to think, dare to do. Find a way to get the job done. Then sitting around thinking your own abilities are limited. We are like the ones who start up. I feel like this is an opportunity. We've missed something very important. Where is the real opportunity? It's persistence with a job. Understand that life is like a marathon. Potential runners will complete the race. At the same time, achievement clearly define the direction. Will not give up the race because of the beauty of the road. Have you ever wondered there are people who are busy with their eyes? But poor is still poor. There are others who are constantly reaping success in career. Maybe not because 2 years ago. The media is always buzzing, reporting about the loss and the decline of many small investors on the stock market, so a lot of people start hardworking. That you just have to work hard and persevere. Your life will definitely get better. You have to work hard. Then you can make money. If you don't try, you will be nothing. These hardworking people, it will be according to that situation. It's bringing in more new jobs. And given that after you've learned how to do these new jobs, they'll give you a refund. It's a form of free learning. Do you see this scene? Is this art of persuasion familiar? A lot of people must have seen this. And there have been the researcher through. You've obviously worked very hard. But the end is what many people ponder. Your hard work, it's just a pawn on someone's chessboard. Even though this is flat, it's true. While you're still busy with dark eyes and dark noses, others have already been convicted. This article 1 don't deny the need for hard work and perseverance. I want to ask a question from a different perspective. Why so many people work hard frequently, increases CA to midnight, but still don't know what is the ideal you need to pursue? Why are so many people always busy? Dark eyes, dark nose with work solved all day and still not finished. It's because they always make time. to take the time to solve the problems in front of us. And I just think we just need to get this done. There's no need to worry about anything. So these people will eventually run out of energy, good resources and opportunities, just to solve the problems in front of us. It makes the difference between rich and poor. No, the answer is yes. The difference lies in the perception of the problem. Each person. Researchers have shown the tube vision effect. When you're looking through a tube, objects other than the tube will become invisible. The scarcity of a resource. It's going to have a psychological effect. Makes you chase that resource too much. Loss of overall and long-term judgment. Causes of the vision effect. It comes from whether you choose to look far or close. Choose to look in front of you or in the long run. Rich people will try to increase their wealth by investing more, and the poor will just keep their money and wait for the currency to devalue. This is the fundamental reason. Why are the poor always busy? Solve the problems in front of you. To hold the money tight you can't invest and increase the value of their property. In a different perspective, the busy without bringing about the success of some people. It can come from how they solve problems. They always choose to solve problems according to the way of thinking, without trying to figure out how to do it more effectively. And that's why the rich people. Surely someone who thinks in reverse and is always successful. The billionaire buff beast Charlie Manger is the best example. The famous mathematician the Jacobi said, think the opposite. Always think the opposite. Only if there's reverse thinking you see the opportunities that few can see. And there's no need to compete to seize the opportunities that AI also sees. Here are 5 weapons that AI should have to train our own reverse thinking model. Pointed out in the book Hit on the Nature of the Author. AI's 7 Failure Success Model. When you think of any success, think again in what situation can cause 7 failures. Considering both advantages and disadvantages, it allows you to have a comprehensive view and most accurate on the subject. This model, it will help people to be fully prepared, even in the worst of circumstances. 2 models of immutable change. When doing anything, don't just focus on the changing factors. I can't keep up with all the changes. What we can do best. It's about controlling the constant factors. As in the case of Zhang Xiaolong, the founder of WeChat, one of the biggest apps in China. I think to develop a product, it's not about studying the logic of the product. That had to go research the user's needs and tastes. Only this way, it can attract a large number of users. From there, we successfully develop our products. BA plus minus model. Focus on one important thing every day. Instead of switching back and forth between having multiple jobs. Multitasking. Multitasking seems to be in favor of many, but its efficiency is not really high. As others judge, the most important thing is only one. In this book, Carrie Kaler given that successful people, they focus all their energy and intelligence into a target. The only maybe they can succeed, it's because they gave up a lot of what they could have done. But it doesn't have to be. To be able to focus on the most important goal. In fact, for everyone, only a few things are really important. Through this form, you can also look at yourself and know exactly what is the goal I really want to achieve. 4 models of happiness and suffering. Veer Penthouse, the German philosopher who suggested that there's no one definition. What exactly about happiness? Because everyone has their own standard of happiness. With some people, having money, fame is happiness. And with some people, there is peace in the soul. That was happiness. Besides that, Penthouse volume also given that happiness is avoiding suffering. Because suffering is a given. AI can also feel it. 5 inverted combination models. This model is suitable for the creative field. This is especially true for jobs that require creativity. So what we call creativity is the new plus the old. If you go deeper, find out, then it's actually analogous with the familiarity and novelty of the brain. Why do infidelities happen so often? It's because of the novelty in the brain. It keeps us interested in new things. And when some old stuff comes along, we can no longer stimulate the brain. So learn to restrain yourself in the face of new temptations. To look at a problem, it's like you use the front lights to illuminate everything. What you see is always one side of the problem. Turn on the lights on the opposite side to be able to observe more fully. It's the same. When evaluating a person, don't always focus on the weaknesses of others. Pay more attention to the strengths of others. When assessing a problem, let's look at things in different ways to have the best solution. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. You guys spent some time watching today's video. I hope that we can share about reverse thinking. It helps you open a new door in your life. If you find this helpful, press the like button, Subscribe to the Critical Thinking channel and sound the alarm. Don't miss the next great video. It's your support. It's the drive to think differently. Continue to deliver profound lessons. And meaning there's a lot to take out. If you see this video on the Stoic Mind channel valuable, please leave a comment below and don't forget to like it. Share and subscribe to the Stoic Mind YouTube channel for more meaningful lessons. Thank you for joining us on a different journey. On the journey towards enlightenment and the art of compassion. See you in the next videos on the channel. Think differently amicably.